Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. I'm Lisa from Down to Earth Gardening and Design, and today we're going to be pruning my inherited Plumeria. So we're going to go through the why, the when, and the how of pruning a Plumeria. So first a little bit about them, and then we're going to get right down to business. And then at the end, I want to show you a little something that I neglected to notice when I inherited it. And I actually didn't follow my own advice. If you see my video about inheriting some new gardens and moving into a new house, I give a lot of tips, and I didn't follow one of my own tips. So that'll be at the end. So Plumeria is such a beautiful shrub or tree, and it can be grown right in the ground as this one here, or you can grow it in containers. So I've seen people grow them in containers down here, and I'm in Florida, by the way. But up north in Connecticut, where you'll also see me do a lot of gardening and I have my business, my friends grow them in containers, and that's because they're only suitable for zones 10 through 12. So up in Connecticut, you can have it in a container and bring it out in the summertime, and then I have a lot of friends and clients that will move them inside because they're perfect in a sunroom for the winter. So Plumeria loves full sun, so that means 6 hours minimum a day. They are very minimal in care. They love their well-drained sandy soil, and they don't need a lot of care, meaning they don't need a lot of water. You can totally let the soil dry out in between waterings. And in fact, they don't want to be sitting in standing water. So they're a really lovely low maintenance shrub or tree. They come in different colors and they are lightly fragrant. So the colors that you will see them in are going to be white, cream, yellow, pink, and even a dark red. So this one here, I'm going to throw up a picture, is a beautiful yellow with a little bit of creamy white on it. So really stunning. They're such perfect looking little flowers that sometimes you'll look at them and think they're artificial. So they do lose their leaves and go dormant in the winter. And when the leaves flush out, they will start at the tips, and that is where you will see the blooms on the tips, and then they will have some leaves going down the branches a little bit. So this is a very soft tissue. And I will say that when you prune, you want to have your gloves ready because there is a sticky, sappy substance that will ooze when you prune, and it can be irritating to your skin or your eyes, so be very careful with it. Wear your gloves, and it will scab over, so not to be concerned when you see that happening. So Plumeria really only needs to be pruned about 2 to 3 years, if that, and there are a few reasons why you should prune it. So number one is, of course, dead, damaged, or diseased branches. You want to prune down to a healthy branch. Or two is if you want it to be shrubbier or a little more compact. Three is if you want to encourage some new growth. And four, this is why I'm pruning it today, is if it has outgrown its space or it just doesn't work in its space. And so for me, hasn't outgrown its space, but it doesn't work because it is along our side fence and we have our camper or trailer here. So there's not a lot of room, and we have it wedged in here in this drive. So I've already had to prune it a little bit. I saved 1 or 2 cuts to do with you today. I'm gonna throw up a quick before and after. But when we had the camper here and we were pulling it in, I had to run out here and prune some branches. So the fourth reason is actually why I'm pruning Plumeria today. So when should you prune your Plumeria? That is a tongue twister. So when it is dormant, so winter, and you can see here it's dormant now before it starts with its new growth. And also, you should make sure it is a dry day. So if you're going to get out there in the morning and do some pruning, make sure that all the dew has evaporated, because if it's wet and you're pruning, you can transfer diseases, and you don't want to do that. So the only time I break the when rule is if you're having a storm, or if you have a broken branch, then of course you do want to prune it. Preventative pruning when there's a storm, and there has been a couple of pretty big storms this year down here in Florida, you do want to get out there and do a little pruning. And some of my friends down here say that all you need to do is really strip the leaves off of the branch and just leave the leaves and the flowers on the tips, and that will help them, give them a little bit of extra strength, because they do bend very easily. All right, let's get down to the how to prune. So we talked about not transferring diseases. So you want to have some sterilized pruners or some sterilized and clean loppers. And you also want to have your gloves, because we talked about how it is sappy and it can irritate the skin. Now I just have a couple of tips on this. So remember I said if you're pruning because it's dead, damaged, or diseased, you just want to prune right down to some nice healthy growth. You always want to prune on a 45-degree angle, and if you can do it facing downward, the angle or the cut facing downward, that's wonderful, because the water will just shed right off. If I did my 45-degree angle and left it upward, when it rains or it gets wet, the water is just going to sit right there, which can cause damage or disease. So when you prune, if you are looking to encourage some new growth, you will want to prune outward 2 to 3 inches from a junction. So right here, if I was going to take this little branch off, I would cut it on my 45 downward facing angle right here. Now, alternatively, if you don't want to encourage new growth, you're going to make your cut flush. So right here, and it'll callus over. Okay, so you can see how close this is to the camper. So I'm going to go down here, and like I said, I left something so we can prune it together. All right, so camper's not going to be here forever. Camper's going to be here for just a couple more months. So I'm okay with making my cut 2 to 3 inches out right here. So when the camper's gone, it's going to encourage some new growth. If the camper was going to be here pretty permanently, I would cut it flush here. So, all right, I'm going to show you something now. My pruners, you can see here, this branch is too big for my little hand pruners. So we're going to get out the loppers. So you want to use the right tool for the right job. Okay, I'm ready with my loppers here, nice and clean. We're going to try to do a nice clean cut. And there we go. So you can see here the sap, and it is going to callus over, so we're not going to worry about that. So I'm pretty happy with the shape of it. If you do want to keep it at a certain height, because we've got some taller branches here, you can go ahead and cut that down to keep it a little shorter, to keep it more as a shrub, but I'm fine with this. I'm really so happy about inheriting this Plumeria. I feel like I really lucked out. So I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I didn't follow one of my own tips in purchasing a new home and inheriting gardens, and I want to show you what that is. Okay, we're at the end of the video, so let me show you what I overlooked. So when you purchase a home or you inherit some new plants, you want to go out and check your existing plants, shrubs, trees, and make sure they're healthy before you start doing anything else in the yard. And what I overlooked here is you can see this wire is holding up the Plumeria. Now, I'm fine because the branches are a little soft with tying the Plumeria up, but it's the way that it's done. So very fleshy trunk here, and if this was left too long, it really would damage this branch here, and that would be very unfortunate. So like I said, I don't mind having it tied up, but it has to be done correctly. So what I would do, and I'm going to take this off for now, and that way I'll kind of watch it and I'll see if it does in fact need to be retied. What you want to do is, it's okay to use wire, but if you can use a piece of foam where you're going to tie it so it protects the branch here, or even an old hose just to wrap it here and then tie it up. So maybe we'll just leave that there and we'll just kind of watch it. But you can see here how sensitive Plumeria is to the wind. So that's it for today. I'm loving the landscape down here in Florida, and I hope you've liked the video and learned some good tips about your Plumeria. So thank you for joining me, and if you like the video, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for some future gardening fun.